Thank you very much, Dave. Now, what a game that was. Somehow managed to claw it back and we said at half-time that we didn't think it would be possible against a Stockport side this good, but we made it happen.
Yeah, an unbelievable point in the circumstances. I don't think there's been many times when I've been doing this stream where I've been so kind of dejected at half-time, not thinking there was a way back into the game, but Richie Wellens, once again, like he always does, proves us wrong. Unbelievable second half performance, a massive turnaround in terms of character, and
feels so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually disappointed we didn't win it. I really am, because if you look at the whole game, on 30 minutes or 28 minutes we've done really well. Last 15 minutes of that first half was quite poor, conceded the goals. Second half we came out, we had a lot of possession and they were quite solid, but we didn't really create anything. We played in front of them a lot, which they were happy with, and then the goal came and then you could feel the momentum shift. And even though we still did play a lot in front of them and we didn't have any sort of people running off the ball trying to get in behind so we can slide the passes through to get an opportunity, we kept going with it, and then it was that moment, and Ollie O'Neill did do that run eventually, and he got the ball to feet, and it was an absolutely great finish because their goalkeeper's 6'8" and he covers most of the goal, and to wait for him to commit and then slot the ball past him was a great goal, absolutely great goal. But if you look over that, I don't know what the stats are, but possession-wise and everything else, we must have had a lot of possession without really creating anything too great other than the 2 goals.
And of course, a big welcome to the viewers who are joining us on our YouTube watchback. Thank you for joining us. This will be going live every Sunday on YouTube, so make sure you keep across that one on the club's social medias. But we've just seen the post-match scenes. Richie drilling some coaching to a lot of the players there. It was very intense. He had a lot of messages for them.
Pep Guardiola-esque, isn't it?
You said it, not me.
But yeah, really impressed with what Richie managed to do in that second half in terms of he brought on a lot of substitutions and he changed the shape at different times. Probably players not quite in their natural positions, and sometimes when you do that you lose shape a little bit and it becomes a bit disjointed, but despite having kind of trying to get all your attackers on at once, he made it work in terms of the shape, and that's what ends up with the equaliser.
We were by far and away the better team in that second half, weren't we?
Oh yeah, I've just seen the stats pop up and we had 71% possession, 2 shots on target in the whole game, which were 2 goals, right? So having that amount of possession is great because they obviously don't have the ball and can't score, but you need to make it count. There's no point just playing the ball backwards, forwards, sideways without getting anywhere. You need runners off the ball to get that killer pass in, and that's what I think Richie Wellens is talking about there when he's coaching players on the pitch. I like that. I know you made a joke of it and said about Pep. I like that because it's fresh in the players' memories of what they're doing and fresh in the coach's mind. Yes, they can look at a videotape afterwards. We have videotape still?
Yeah, you definitely.
We have tape, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that, but it's fresh in the players' minds and you can get into them and tell them there and then. But really pleased we got back into it. Boys, hopefully it gives them a lift going into next week's games now. Really, yeah, just disappointed. I feel disappointed because that game was there against a really good team to go on and win it. And we've done well to get back into it, but I think we should have won.
I mean, it is frustrating because bar that 15 minutes after we conceded in the first half, we were probably on top for the first half hour, on top second half. Glenn, did you agree with Glenn there?
Yeah, 100%. To come away from a game like this being disappointed you haven't won, though, shows it's an unbelievable sign. I think it's really, really positive for the future when you take into kind of the comments Richie was making in his pretty much interview when he was saying the fact that Stockport quite settled, haven't made wholesale changes, whereas we've obviously had a lot of upheaval this summer, and I think as Richie's shown throughout his seasons at Orient, it takes a little while to get going. So when we're capable of putting in a second half performance like that against a team like Stockport with only a month of this team gelling together, a lot of new signings, I think it bodes really, really well for the future.
I like Morehouse, who came on in the second half. He gets the ball and he travels with it well, and changed just certain things up because, like I say, we had the ball and we were passing it and sort of going across trying to pick holes in them. We needed a player like that, and certainly Connelly gets his goal and then he drops a bit deeper into that number 10 role that I think he's used to playing a lot, and he was getting on the ball and he was coming in, he was trying to get the game going, you know. Him and Morehouse, I think, made the difference in that sort of last 10-15 minutes.
I mean, Aaron Connelly was dropping into the Idris Wazuni role at times. He was just getting into dropping so deep, but I'd love to see his heat map because he was everywhere. He was making runs all over the place. He looked a nightmare to try and defend against.
Yeah, I think it's something that Richie's again mentioned in his interviews, where he's kind of maybe sees in games like this where playing the top teams, can we get him on the ball a little bit more in the deeper positions, whether that be the number 10 or, like you say, he was in the number 8 position for a little bit at the end of the game. And if we can just, maybe we're missing one more player, that number 9, that can kind of take the pressure off Connolly and be the presence in the box. I think that's the missing piece of the puzzle for this squad.
I hope that was directions from the coaching staff for him to do that, and he's not done that just off his own back, out of frustration of not getting the ball, because he wasn't, when he was playing up there against their big centre halves, he wasn't really getting the ball, and that's what you'll find with forwards, they drop deeper and deeper and deeper just to get involved in the game. So I hope that was a tactic. If it wasn't, I'm sure it's worked, but it was born out of frustration, I think, in not having the ball.
Well, he did open his account for the O's. Let's take a look at the first goal for the O's in the second half, and a very tidy finish. What we'd expect to see from Connolly.
It was. You know what? I think over the last 3 games, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's actually his first shot on target, and he scored with it, because he's had other shots which have gone wide and over, but I think that is the first shot he's actually got on target, and he scored with it. I just really hope now that's given him a real lift, and he goes on to score the 25 goals that I think he can get.
Yeah, and I think it's a really, really good assist from Ollie O'Neill here, to have that composure, to hold the ball up, kind of beat his man, and then drop it. But it's a perfect pass. So Connolly's finish is excellent, but it's because O'Neill lays it on a plate with an inch perfect pass that Connolly can just guide into the far corner.
He was superb again, Ollie O'Neill. He makes things happen like that. He's got the assist there. He gets the goal. He's just busy. He does the right things. I really like him. I'm so pleased he's back to fitness. Like I said last week after the game, because he's really important to the way we play.
It really is. I don't know if you can watch that first goal again though, because what did you make of it? Looking back, I don't know if it's right in the bottom corner. It's a fantastic finish. Would that 6'6" Corridor maybe have hoped to have done a bit better here?
He's 6'8", by the way. So I'm guessing it was in the corner because he couldn't get it. But what he does, as the ball moves, the goalkeeper's body weight is shifting to the other side of the goal. So he's going to cover that, and he's off balance. So as soon as the ball comes back in, he can't get across back to the way his body's going the wrong way. So we'll probably see it better from this direction. See the keeper moving, but it's all down to what Ollie O'Neill does here. He gets the goalkeeper, he's facing the goal. The defenders can't commit. Keeper's body moving. Oh, do you know what, Ollie? You might be right, but his body weight is moving to his right hand side, and then it's a great finish. It's a great finish.
It certainly is, but I
think again, it's like we said earlier, he's had a lot of shots so far, and he's never scared to have a shot. I think that's that kind of elite academy coaching in terms of Adai probably only makes that. It's a slight mistake because Connolly's taken it so quickly. You might have anticipated Connolly take a touch, and maybe other players in League One would, but Connolly's so instinctive and he wants to get his shot off so quickly that it makes it a problem for Adai.
And because Adai's so big, he can't get down there because it's too close to his body, maybe. So it's really, I'm really pleased, really pleased that he's got his first goal. He's opened his account, and it sort of gave him a bit of a lift. I wasn't sure if he got an injury because he went down in the second half. And I was really pleased he had a little chat with Stockport supporters when he came off as well.
He certainly did. How big is that for him to get that off his back and open his account early doors? Because you could see how much he wanted to score at times in last week's game against Wigan, where he came off before the free kick could be taken. He looked incredibly frustrated. But that's probably a bit of a weight off him now. Yeah,
definitely. You can imagine. He'll feel more relaxed. He's got that first goal out of the way. He's probably been hoping it might have come sooner, but after the 3 games is no shame, and he's had opportunities, and I think there's been times where perhaps, like I say, he's been so desperate to score that he could have maybe laid it off or passed the ball or done that, but that's what you want from your striker. I think me and Glenn spoke about it in the Wigan game last weekend. You'd rather your striker was greedy and desperate to score goals than not.
Definitely. I'm pleased. I'm just pleased he's got his goal. I really am, because he works his socks off, and coming from the levels he's come from, leagues above, he's come down to League One. I'm not saying he thinks he's better than this league, but he's got a point to prove for what he's had to go through in his career, and he's been frustrated with himself after the opening game when he hits the post in the first 5 minutes against Huddersfield. He feels he should score that. Last week, the other one, when Koroma's crossed it at Huddersfield and he completely miskicks the ball, should have scored. He should have probably had 2 in the first game. Last week he had opportunities, but he wasn't shooting on target, So for him, he's added pressure. I'm sure there's no pressure from the coaching staff or management. Yes, they want him to score, but they're probably not putting pressure on him. But the sign of a good player is when you hold yourself accountable and you want to do so well, because for your team, but also for yourself. And I'm just pleased he's got a goal. And honestly, I'm not joking. I fully expect him to get 15 plus goals this year.
Well, we're going to be hopefully joined by Aaron Connelly very soon, so don't turn off your screens and stay tuned for that one. But now let's come on to the second goal, the one that drew us all level. And Ollie O'Neill deserved this, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Like Glenn said, I thought probably on balance our best player today in terms of everything he did was bright and positive, and I think, as we'll see, and as Glenn has already said, it's a brilliant bit of composure. I think there was hints of offside at the time, but actually looking at that from the replay, he looked like he timed his run perfectly, and it looks like it should be one-on-one, an easy finish, but when you get into the 93rd minute like that and you're through one-on-one and he's got a bit of time to think about it and he's facing up against, like we mentioned, big Corey Adai, it can get to you, and he showed brilliant composure there to slide underneath him, and in the end it was a deserved equaliser.
It certainly was, and fantastic scenes, and we've already touched on it, but it was so deserved. And there's maybe a bit of injustice in the penalty box, which we'll come on to soon, but all the talk around Stockport, the money they're spending, to come from 2 goals down, that's just a statement to the rest of the league as well.
Oh, definitely. Stockport will leave this game today relieved that they've got a point. Yes, they'll be frustrated that they've let a 2-goal lead slip. But I think on balance, when they reflect on it, they'll think, hang on a minute. The manager said in his pre-game interview yesterday that he thinks we're going to be in and around the playoffs again. He thinks we'll be very strong. He said we may not be ready yet and show signs of the good side that we were last year, but he expects us to be up there. I don't think he's expecting us to come back from 2 down. And was it his tactics that maybe was a bit too negative once they came out after half time? Could have been. He'll probably have to look at himself. But we've come back against, they are a strong team, very strong team, but we've come back. We've had a lot of possession, we've had a lot of the ball without really creating too much. Once we do that and the style of play and the patterns of play get embedded into these new players, I think the season's looking very, very promising.
And Glenn makes a point that they had a flat back 5 for the majority of that second half, especially when they were at 2-1. We were playing in front of 9 men. It was really tough to break down. So to get that equaliser in the manner that we did, to split the line, Baconson slip Ollie through, it was a really, really positive sign for the O's.
Yeah, definitely. We would have, when you have 70% possession against a team like Stockport, where they probably half time 2-0 up, probably would have thought, yeah, let's just sit in. We're very strong, we're very comfortable, and we'll pick up a big victory. But they kind of perhaps went a bit too deep, but we didn't carve them open with ease. Like Glenn said, we only had 2 shots on target, so it was about getting that balance right, and I think that was a great example of just being patient. We didn't force things at times, we made the right pass, and credit to Baconson for getting the assist as well.
Now, I think the phrase for this next highlight we're going to watch, Glenn, is Stonewall. Let's take a look at the penalty shout, and I don't quite understand what the referee's seen here if it's not a penalty.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a look here actually. Was this the handball one?
This was this is. I think it should be just after this one. We'll try and get this clip. Or it might have been just before. I think it was just before. If we can rewind that about 30 seconds, I think, please, admin.
What I did think was, if that's not the handball one, the handball one was Definitely a penalty.
We've got it here. We've got it here. If we take it back, so let's play this clip from here. Ollie O'Neill's through. He's taken out. We'll see from the angle after this. I don't actually quite.
I think he slips initially, but then because he's panicking and he slipped, he's taken an O'Neill out. I don't know if we can rewind and
I think we've got some different angles to watch back after this, where you'll see the Stockport defender cleans him out.
But yeah, in real time, it was a real kind of, well, that's obviously a penalty, screaming and shouting at the ref kind of scenario. And then seeing it back, I'm not convinced that.
I didn't think that one was a penalty at the time.
Wait until you see the angle, Glenn. I think we should be getting it any second now. But he's caught. I don't know what the rule is, but he catches him with his body.
Yeah, he slipped there, but he's taken.
I think he's gone down too early.
Really?
Too easy. I think he's put his leg. The defender's on the floor, and he puts his left leg into him to try and make it look like a foul. There is contact there, but I think the referee's got that one right. I really do. But I think the one before that, which was a handball, the cross goes to go in, and the defender has just put his arms up and stopped the cross, and it goes out for a corner. That one was more of a blatant penalty for me. But I don't think we've got that.
I don't think we do. How did you see that from your point of view? I mean, it felt as though it balanced it out maybe a little bit to get level at the end. It felt unjust from my eyes, but maybe I've got my Orient tinted glasses on.
We've also had our fair share of decisions against Stockport recently, so maybe we can't complain too much. But yeah, to me in real time and on the replay, it looked the penalty. I think once he slips, he panics, and look, O'Neill makes the most of it. But if Hills doesn't make that movement into him, I think it's Ollie's got a shooting opportunity. So for me, it's a penalty.
Brendan, come on, no way. No, look, it does look like it. There is contact, but if you look at Ollie O'Neill's left leg, he's trying to be very clever there, and he steps over into the defender on the floor. So he's sort of drawn the foul there, and it looks like it is a penalty. But I don't think it was. And on balance, do we really want to win a game like that?
Yes. Yeah. No, we would quite like to. We've got Aaron joining us very shortly. He's just getting ready and prepared. But looking at what this fixture now, we take this into next week, and it's been a tough start. Win, lose, draw. It's been a balanced but good start now.
Yeah, I think I spoke before the game. Probably Huddersfield and Stockport will be there and thereabouts at the end of the season. So to play them in two of the first three is always going to be tough. So I think 4 points from that is a decent enough return.
And now looking to, it's actually Tuesday night, Plymouth, another tough game. They lost today, but it's confidence to come from 2 goals down. That's the main thing, isn't it? And
that's the thing. The group they seem to be galvanised in what they want to do, and the sort of never say die attitude. Last week we saw it on the battle against Wigan. Today we've seen it to come back against Stockport to get the 2 goals and get a point, a share of the points. There's obviously something going on within the squad that never say die attitude, but really pleased.
I'm looking at Aaron Connelly right now. I'm not sure if he can hear us. It looks like the camera is also gone. Maybe we'll come back to him in just a moment. It's character building. It's character. Oh no, he's moving again. So I'm hoping we should be able to join Aaron now. Aaron, congratulations on your first goal in an Orient shirt. How did it feel when that one hit the back of the net? Let's give it another minute. Back to the question then, Glenn. Hopefully I'll get it in my ear when Aaron can hear us. But the character, we saw it last season, the Barnsley home game, just so many instances where we'd never say die. We've lost a few players, but we haven't lost that spirit.
No, not at all, and it's really pleasing to see. But what I like is from last season there was games where there's going to be games this season where they're really frustrating, or you're away from home and you're getting battered possession-wise, but the score's 0-0. And you have to dig in, and it might be an horrible sort of weather conditions, whatever, and you dig in together, or you go down to 10 men, and that's what this squad's got. They just battle for each other. They seem to be doing really well for each other and holding each other accountable. That's a really good thing as well, especially with the new players coming in. Is like, what's expected of you? if you're a player, you tell somebody else if they're not pulling their weight. They do that, but the player receiving that information has got to take it in the right way and then knuckle down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been fortunate. We've had so many special moments recently. So many like those 90th minute equalisers, winners. It creates memories. It creates a good feeling between the fans and the team, and they are so important to creating that kind of atmosphere for a successful team.
Right, I think we have everything sorted and we should now be able to join Aaron live over in the Justin Edinburgh West End. Aaron, congratulations on your first goal in an Orient shirt. How did it feel when that one hit the back of the net?
Yeah, it's been a few games coming. I've obviously been quite frustrated in the last 2 games. Disappointing opening game for the season, but no, it was vital to get back in the game, and yeah, I'm just glad I could get on the score sheet as well. The main thing is we ended up with a point. It would have been to come away with nothing today, considering how well we played.
And of course, 2 goals down at half time. Aaron, what was the feeling in the dressing room when you went in for half time?
It was positive, apart from 7-8 minutes, like the gaffer said, but we just looked like we just lost a bit of composure. I think they score and then they score again quite quickly after, and it's just one of them. It's going to happen. Stockport are a good team. There's a reason why they were in the playoffs last year as well. But thankfully, we in the second half we sustained that for 45 minutes, and probably unfortunate not to get the win at the end.
And it was a really hard-working performance from yourself. We saw you very high up the pitch in the first half. We saw you drop into the 10 role a bit in the second half, and then you was playing holding midfield at some point. You were dropping really deep at times. Was that a message from the gaffer and the coaches?
Well, in training I do drop in a bit. I'm not sure he wanted me to drop in beside Becks and Habs, but I just felt that was the way that what I needed to do to try and get on the ball and create something. So later on in the half, he put 2 up front and told me to drop in. So yeah, listen, I don't mind doing that as long as I can get on the ball and create opportunities for the team.
Well, it certainly worked, and then obviously led on to Ollie O'Neill in the dying minutes, slipped in and equalising the game. How are you finding it playing with those forward players and clicking? How's that chemistry coming along?
I think it's a very high level front three for League One. See why we all can contribute a lot of goals and assists together. You've seen Josh today didn't score, but he created problems all game. Ollie obviously scoring and getting an assist as well, and I feel like we work together quite well. And then obviously you've got DJ as well in behind us, and then players to come on off the bench. So it's competitive. We've got to keep putting in performances up to see if we want to stay in the team. So yeah, I'm enjoying it at the minute, and hopefully we can continue to score goals, get assists, and hopefully more points.
And on to Plymouth now on Tuesday night. A long journey on a midweek. Be another tough game. Recently relegated from the Championship, but it's another opportunity to go out and put more points on the board, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously they've just come down. I played them last year on a Tuesday night with Millwall, and we lost 5-1 there. So I don't have good memories. So hopefully this time we can change that and come out the right side of the result. But it's just we have to take every game one game at a time, and they'll be a good side, but we're also a very, very good side, and hopefully we can show that on Tuesday.
Well, Aaron, thank you for joining us, and thanks for bearing with us while we've got the technology sorted, and congratulations on your first goal again.
Thank you, appreciate that. Cheers, lads. Thank you.
Absolutely delighted from our way.
Thank you, Aaron.
Are you alright doing one more with the BBC, or do you want to do your treatment first?
Well, I've got to get a shower before I do the treatment, so I might as well.
Yeah.
Dave,
are you ready?
Yes, please. Get you off their feet and,
Do you want to sit down?
dribble with the ball and make something happen out of nothing.
Yeah, you right, sit down.
Yeah, brilliant today in terms of what he does off the ball with his press and everything like that. But when he gets the ball, he's always front first, trying to take a man on, trying to get a shot off, and it's just such an exciting player to watch.
Well, going on what he said about last season losing 5-1 there, he doesn't sound like his favourite place, unless he scored, of course. But interesting what he said there when you asked a question about dropping deep. He says he doesn't train but probably not as coaching staff. The way to sort of negate that is if we don't really tend to play that way, but if he's playing higher against the centre half and pushing them back, he needs the ball to play to his feet. We need to get the ball into his feet early, right? So he can have a twist and get a shot on the field, bring others into the game. We don't seem to be doing that at the moment. Hence the reason he's getting frustrated, getting searching for the ball and dropping deeper and deeper. So maybe to get him firing on all cylinders and get him as good as he can be, maybe we have to start looking for feet into him as well.
It's a tough toss-up between him and the line of Matt Wrexham, who gets it.
Monday, gentlemen.
I'll stick with my choice. I think his goal and assist was really positive of everything he tried to do. But yeah, as you say, Aaron Connelly put in a really good performance as well.
Again, you've gone with a goal and assist stats like last week.
Yeah.
Right, for that, I'm giving it Connelly.
Well done.
Well, we'll let you two argue about that one off air. A massive thank you to Glenn and Brendan for joining me this afternoon. A massive thank you to you and your support wherever you've been watching from. Enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the pint. Up the house.
It comes out to Omar Beckel. Great character, great result, and it's Sonny Perkins with his first in the league. And it's Dan Happy. He touched towards Tom James. It doesn't get more dramatic than that. Oh, what an excellent free kick once again from Tom James. Oh, Charlie Cowman again. Oh, what a strike from Ollie O'Neill. They're enjoying the festive season, and he's going to shattered the deadlock. Oh, what a wonderful delivery. And it's a goal, and they've going to double the advantage. Oh, what a wonderful goal from Ethan Galbraith. Perkins has got it, they know it's in front. And they know it, and taken the lead once more. Oh, what a move, what a game at Brisbane Road. It's a light in E10. Turn in. It's in, and they know it, they're taking. Cautious Patrick, Dudley goes for goal. No! He lost the crossbar, and they know they've taken the lead. And there is absolute delight in E10.
When they had their momentum swing, we conceded two bad goals. They've come from a long goal.